Okay. Hello, atheist friends. This entry actually comes in as response to my comments on other YouTube videos. Mostly responses I've gotten from atheists who basically just mock the shit out of my religion. Whatever. Well, my faith anyway. And, go ahead. I don't care if you mock it because I know where I'm going and I know where you're going when you die. And and I know a lot of you atheists aren't really interested in the truth. You don't really care. No, you just want to believe that you're wise, you know everything, and you're the master of the universe. Well, here's the truth. You don't know shit. Really. You don't know shit. You are not the master of the universe. Hey, it was a surprise. It was a shock and surprise to me when I found out I wasn't the master of my universe. None of us are masters of the universe. And of course, a belief in God and such would definitely throw this worldview out the window. Or if you've had experiences like I have, that too, that worldview too does go out the window. I want to tell you a little bit about my experiences with demons, fallen angels, and other such. I have to say that I used to be an atheist. I used to be just like you. In fact, I was raised to believe that faith in the Bible and pretty much anything to do with Christianity, or any religion for that matter, was just a bunch of superstitious nonsense that was for the feeble-minded, for stupid people. In fact, my teachers and other such people I've learned off of include, and this did include scientists, basically told me the same thing. Anyway, but my search for, but since my views have changed. In fact, I've been on a shit a 20 some odd year journey to come to these conclusions. I'd have to say it all started back in 1992. I was about 4 years old. I had the chicken pox. And this was the first abduction experience I remember. Yes, I'm an alien abductee, well, which actually now going to refer to it as a fallen angel abductee. Because that's what they really are. They're not aliens. They're not from Zeta Reticuli or the Andromeda Galaxy. They're definitely not from Mars or Venus or the mysterious Planet X that's supposed to be out there somewhere. They are fallen angels. The Bible specifically says that that God created all the life on earth, plants, animals, bacteria, viruses, all of it. He also created people, human beings like you and me. And he has created the angels. Some are fallen, some are with God. And there is a difference. Though sometimes the differences can be hard to see. But it's there, I promise. Anyway, when I was about 4 years old, I had the chicken pox and I was sent to stay with my grandmother. Because I was out of school and my mom worked and my dad worked and they couldn't just take care of me, so I was sent to my grandparents. My cousins, Amanda and Joseph, lived with my grandparents at that time too. Um, um, anyway, one of these nights during this time I had the chicken pox. We all went to bed. Um, and then and in the middle of the night, I woke up. There was a blinding light coming through the window. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little background on that. At the time, my grandparents lived in an apartment complex. Reason why my cousins were staying over at my grandparents is because my uncle and my cousins also stayed there. And my uncle would frequently go out and go to bars, whatever, chase women. I don't know exactly what he did at that time. And of course, I was a kid and he was an adult, and I was grown folk business. I just know that he went out. And it wasn't unusual for him to be out late and get home late. So when I was woken up by this bright light coming through my window, I at first thought it was my uncle coming home, and I tried to wake up my cousin Joe, like, hey, Uncle Bud's back. Um, and then he mumbled something. I think it was somewhere around like go back to sleep or something. Then I remember feeling this intense fear, this terror, dread. In fact, it was paralyzing. That jolt of fear that you get when you're driving down the street and you look in the rear view mirrors and you see those red and blues flashing in the back and behind you, and you hear that boo sound, and you know you're in trouble. That's what it felt like. Just multiply it by 1,000. And I saw these things. Some were tall, some were small. They just appear. I don't know how they even got in, because my grandparents, they believed in lock and key. I mean, they bolted down windows, they bolted the door at night, my grandparents, there's no way for these things to get in there without opening a door, without somebody even realizing it, really. That light outside coming through the window was so bright, I don't know how it didn't wake up anyone else. Anyway, I remember I was terrified. Actually, I thought they were boogeymen, because my grandpa often told me, if you don't be a good little boy, the boogeyman will get you. And I was all like, oh crap, my grandpa was right. I probably shouldn't have mouthed off or something. And he basically dragged me out of there kicking and screaming. I don't really remember anything after that. But the experiences got worse. My mom would often find me in the middle of the street. Again, the doctors and everybody told my mom that I was sleepwalking. And I actually, being a little kid, didn't know that there were certain things you really can't talk to people about. But, I just, tell my friends at school about it, tell teachers at my daycare about it. And, well, of course, they thought I was crazy and I was put in mental institutions, counseling, the whole 9 yards on that one. And like I was saying, my mom would often find me out in the street screaming. Anyway, and just more and more weird crap like that. And mind you, when I was that young, I lived in a really dangerous neighborhood. This is a place you put chains on your door if you don't want to get robbed. This is a place that you locked up at night if you did not want a rapist, a prowler, a robber, or whatever coming in at the middle of the night. Hell, my mom even started putting cowbells and stuff on the doors. Yet I still got out in the middle of the street, on the front porch, in the backyard. She just find me screaming. I had no memory of how or why I was there. And course, I had the haunting experiences in my own house, and just any place I ever lived, these things followed me. Well, I'm no longer an abductee. When I came to Christ, after some other experiences, mostly I've dabbled in witchcraft, Wicca, and all that, sorcery. And I summoned a being. And the thing is that with magic you can't cut corners, which we kind of did. And the thing is we pissed it off. It nearly killed us. Don't ask my sister, ask our friends, Katrina and Misty, that this thing was out to kill us. We pissed it off, and my abductions got worse until finally I did not know where else to turn, who to go to. So I went to the church. Actually, I was going to this church with friends. Just something to do, really. And I came to Christ. I finally came to Christ. And the things stopped messing with me. As I got deeper in the Word and followed Christ and walked with Him even closer and loving the Lord, these things just sort of left me alone. As far as I know, they do not abduct me. I have not had any more experiences because they've just been leaving me alone. Now, if these were really galactic beings and not fallen angels, then why should it matter that I follow Christ? Why did that stop? Why did they stop coming to me? You know? And they showed me a lot of things when they were taking me. They were showing me things like, I remember one time they showed me a vision of, I was about as old as I am now. Maybe older. All I knew is I was grown. And in this vision, I was standing outside at a theater. So I know I was standing outside, and I looked up. Everybody looked up in the sky, and it was like cracking and falling, like literally cracking and falling. And they were telling me that when this stuff happens, be ready. You have a special purpose. They always tell us. That's what they always tell us. That we as abductees, we're special or whatever. Crap like that. Anyway, I'm probably going to have to make a part 2 of this because I'm far from finished. And, yeah. I already got like only 2 minutes left, but I'm probably going to end up making a part 2 of this. And it will be uploaded with this video. Anyway, I'll get ready to make part 2 here in a moment.